story begins in a universe with two planets, Greenie and Blackie. These two planets use different kinds of energy sources. In Blackie, millions of years ago, as plants and animals died, their remains settled on the ground and turned into coal, crude oil, and natural gas. In Greenie, the whole planet uses renewable energies which naturally occur in the local environment, such as solar energy, geothermal energy, wind power, hydropower, and biomass. Over the years, Greenie and Blackie have been arguing about the pros and cons of fossil fuels and renewables, starting off a never-ending tug-of-war. So, they decided to send a wise man to decide which source is better. When the man reached Blackie, he sees that the city is surrounded by smoke and haze. Coal plants release greenhouse gases and air particulates which bring harmful impacts to the environment and human health. Coal mining exposes minerals and rocks from underground which contain sulfur and forms sulfuric acid that kills fish, plants, and animals. All drilling and transportation come with a risk of oil spills and blowouts. After this, the man goes to Greenie. He sees a cleaner environment with low pollution. The processes of obtaining energy are much safer compared to fossil fuels. But wait, what is that? He sees people turn biomass into heat and electricity using processes similar to fossil fuels. But compared to a coal-fired power station, a medium-sized biomass plant can reduce carbon dioxide emission by 200,000 tons per year. However, some biomass feedstock sources are associated with substantial global warming emissions. Harmful biomass resources and practices add net carbon to the atmosphere, such as clearing forests, savannas, or grasslands to grow energy crops, and displacing food production for bioenergy production. Generally, renewable energies are perceived as cleaner and greener compared to fossil fuels, and it is the global ultimate solution. However, the way we use renewable energies influence the outcome of it. If not managed carefully, the process of biomass for energy can be harvested at unsustainable rates, damage ecosystems, and produce net greenhouse emissions. Therefore, much concern should be given to biomass process safety issues to ensure that the full benefits of this clean and green energy can be enjoyed.
Now, back to our real-life problem. Malaysia has a large amount of biomass residues where 85% of available biomass in the country comes from oil palm agriculture. But it does pose some environmental safety problems. The clearance of lands or forests for oil palm plantation is threatening some of the last habitats and contributes to climate change. The presence of large amount of oil palm waste has created a major disposal problem. For each kilogram of palm oil, roughly another 4 kilograms of dry biomass are produced, and from every processed ton of fresh fruit bunch, 0.65 meter cubic liter waste is generated, which is palm oil meal effluent, POM. Out of this, palm still remains relatively untapped and will be a threat to the environment if directly discharged to the watercourse. The most conventional method employed for palm treatment in Malaysia is ponding system since the year of 1982. This system comprises of de-oiling tank, acidification ponds, anaerobic ponds, and aerobic ponds. In this system, biogas which contains methane gas with a global warming potential of 21 compared to carbon dioxide will be released from anaerobic ponds and be dissipated into the atmosphere. One of the efforts implemented by the government is Entry Point Project number 5, the EPP5 under the National Key Economic Areas, which aims to achieve the installation of biogas facilities in all palm oil mills in Malaysia by the year of 2020. In biogas capturing system, palm is collected in a feed tank and then sent into a fermenter and heated to approximately 38 to 40 degrees Celsius. The substrate is decomposed by the microorganisms under the exclusion of light and oxygen. Once the substrate has been fermented, it is then transported to wastewater treatment plant. The biogas generated is stored in the roof of the tank, and from there, it is then burned in the combined heat and power plant, CHP, to generate electricity and heat. Besides, processing of biogas to make pure methane can supply to the national grid or gas filling stations. With the implementation of Entry Point Project number 5 in the year 2010, Malaysia is on track to achieve this target. We have already achieved 20% increment of completed biogas plants installed in palm oil mills within the 2 years from the year 2012 to the year 2014. However, out of the 434 palm oil mills throughout Malaysia in the year 2014, only 66 mills have completed the biogas plant's installation, which means to say we have to take a more progressive approach towards this issue. A typical palm oil mill with capacity of processing 60 tons per hour fresh fruit punch, the total methane gas derived from palm in a year in comparison to the calorific value of diesel is equivalent to about 3.4 million litres of diesel. For a Ford Fiesta car, which consumes around 3.6 litres of diesel per 100 kilometers, with this amount of methane gas, the nation can supply fuel up to 12,800 cars in Malaysia annually, which averagely travels 20 kilometers per day. The opportunities of biogas captured from palm are well known, but the investment cost to build biogas plant with power generation system is relatively high as compared to the conventional ponding treatment system. However, besides considering the high investment cost that it takes up, we should also think of the consequences of not doing so. Do you know that the methane released from palm oil refineries accounts for more than 1/3 of the palm industry's impact on the climate? And a single pond of palm refinery wastewater annually puts out climate warming gases equivalent to 22,000 cars. That methane could be used to make electricity by simply covering the pond and placing a biogas generator beside it. It is expected that the amount of methane gas produced in a year is able to support about 700,000 households in Malaysia if all the palm generated are being treated anaerobically. Our national renewable energy target is to have an increment in cumulative renewable energy capacity from 985 megawatt to 4,000 megawatt in the year of 2030. Meanwhile, 92% of cumulative carbon dioxide gas can be reduced in production. In order for us to achieve this, we should fully utilize what we currently have so that we can boost Malaysia's renewable energy sector in the future and to reduce the environmental safety impacts induced by it. Wait, don't you want to know the ending of the two planets? Yes, this is another happily ever ending story where Blackie has decided to use the renewable energies, and this is how it works.